Hello, how is everyone doing today? So, I have a little bit of a problem. I have a little girl that has a big booty. Yeah, she's got a big booty. And so, one of the issues that I found I have is that I cannot find underwear that fit her and are comfortable at the same time. She's always complaining either they're too tight or they crawl up her rear, or whenever she wears them without tights or without shorts, she always gets a rash when her thighs rub together. And my daughter is not by any means a big girl. She's 9 years old. Whew, she just turned 9. She's 9 years old, and she's your typical 9-year-old girl. She's in the 4th grade. She, plays, and at this point in her life doesn't really like wearing skirts or anything like that anymore. So even with her pants and her sweatpants and things like that, she's finding that she's having some rub rash. So with that, one of the biggest issues that I have had is finding underwear. And I've tried looking all kinds of different shorts. Boycut shorts are not an option for her because they are so freaking short for little kids. I don't know what these manufacturers are thinking, but a little girl in elementary school does not need boycut shorts that show her hoo-ha and everything else to everybody and their grandma. That's not okay. So I actually went and found some briefs, some boxer briefs that were old pairs of my son's, and these ended up being too short for her even still. And of course, the other issue is the hole for little boys, which she is not interested in having. So what I'm going to do, I have 2 pairs here. These are boxer briefs for boys, and I'm just going to kind of take them apart. I'm going to mutilate them a little bit and see how they're made, and I'm going to try to put together some boxer briefs for my daughter. So a couple of things. I have looked online. I've looked everywhere online, and the only boxer briefs that I can find are for women, and they are still the same issue, too short. And also the other thing I thought about was, well, I can just find some boy briefs and buy her those. Well, the issue is still the hole in the crotch, and they don't come in girl colors, and she's not by any means a girly girl, but she still would like to have her purples and her, girl colors. So anyway, I'm going to take these all apart, see what I can come up with, and show you how I did it. See you soon. So, taking apart these boy boxer briefs, first thing I did was cut open the waistband to take out the elastic, and just wanted to see how that was stitched in there. This pair is very simple. It had basic waistband, so just basically the elastic was folded into the material, and it was just stitched down, which I kind of did like, because then that waistband is not rolling inside the material, which can be very frustrating. And then I turned them inside out and took a look. And one of the things that my daughter has a problem with is that she is very sensitive to seam lines. I don't know what it is, but ever since she was little, she'd turn her socks inside out, she'd turn her underwear inside out. Like, if it's got a seam that's going to bother her in any kind of way, she doesn't do it. So I was looking at these because she did try these on, and one thing that she said was that the material was very itchy, which this is a 100% cotton. So for her, this is too itchy. And then the seam lines are very thick because it's 100% cotton. So anyway, I had her try these on. They fit okay, but they were still too short. And then she said they were itchy, and I was concerned about the seam lines. So the seam lines is one of the things that she'll say is itchy, and she doesn't realize that it's something that's irritating her, and can call it something else. So this is what these started out looking like. They're just your regular boy short. And of course, like I said, they had the hole and all that other stuff that she just didn't like. So I went ahead and made a pattern. And one of the things I wanted to do, instead of using her leggings, which is what I did end up doing to get the length, but instead of using the same pattern as the leggings, because they have the 4-point stitch that meets in the middle for the sides and the front and the back pieces, I wanted to do a traditional underwear cut that you would just take the top or the front and the back piece and sew them together along the sides and across the top and the bottom to get them to piece together. And the one thing that I am a little concerned about is that this is not going to have a crotch piece like your regular pair of underwear usually does. But I think that she's going to enjoy the length and the stitching much better on these because it'll be much less irritating for her. So I salvaged the elastic band out of the pair that I cut apart. I'm going to go ahead and just flip these two to pretty sides and get ready to stitch them together. So I'll show you what I have when I come back. All right, so I have my front and back pieces together. As you can see, I did leave a little allowance for the back to be a tad bit higher than the front, just because it gives it more of the feminine cut that the leggings give, as opposed to the boy cut shorts for little men. So what I'm intending to do is I'm going to go ahead and stitch this bottom seam all the way, so it's basically going to fold in half, and then I'm going to stitch the side pieces all the way up. When I get done with that, I'm going to take this top piece, I'm going to go ahead and fold in my elastic and stitch it down, and then once I see how it looks, I'm going to determine the length on the bottom and see how much I want to fold up. But I think that she's going to really, really like the softness of this fabric as opposed to a 100% cotton. This is a cotton lycra that I'm using. It's just a basic print that I found at Joann Fabrics, I believe. I made some net gaiters out of it for the winter time when I took the kids skiing and I had some left over. So I just wanted to try and see if she liked this fabric as far as the feel and touch for her, like I said, since she is so picky, but we'll see what it looks like in just a few minutes. All right, so I have sewn the middle pieces together, all with one stitch. I sewed the sides together. I was using a zigzag stitch on these, so it gives it a little bit more stretch. And then at the top, what I did was I folded the elastic into the material. I layered it twice so that in the top layer, there's about maybe a third of the way. There's also material underneath there, so it kind of tucks it up in there nicely, and hopefully that stitch will keep it from rolling out of place. I'm going to go ahead and flip these right side out so you can take a look at them. I have not finished the bottoms yet. What I think I'm going to do is probably just roll them up, maybe a half an inch, and just tack them down. Either that or I'm going to do a double roll, like maybe go up a quarter of an inch or something, and then roll that up a little bit to finish off the edges on there. But I'm going to go ahead and flip them right side out so you can see what they look like. We have the first semi-finished product. So as you can tell, these are two pieces that have been stitched together, and you've got a front and a back. The only concern that I have right now with my daughter being so sensitive to touch is this bunch in the crotch area, and that is partially a design error because I did a pointed seam in the middle where I should have done a arch seam, or an arch cut rather. And also from looking at the leggings that she had, the front piece had a lower waistline and a higher crotch line, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And then of course the back had a higher waistline with the lower line as well, because when you combine the two, it brings the back up a little bit higher to meet the inside, and that's what gives you that nice rounded edge in the middle. But what I did was I actually folded my side that I wanted in half and just basically doubled it so that I didn't have to fold my materials, because I again wanted that single piece to be able to just stitch the ends together and make more of a underwear type product. So, all right, I'm gonna finish the edges and then we'll be done.